ball holds up. He's going to take it himself. Sam Adakumi in alone. Adakumi! Canada has done it!
It's Bondzee Live. Trippin With Bondzee on YouTube.
Hi. How are you? Bear with me for 1 second. I forgot to put it out on Twitter. There's the feed. Done. There we go. I'm ready. How are you? Happy Monday. Hope you had a great weekend. It's Trippin With Bondzee on YouTube and the Dean Blundell Network. Live from Sarge's house. This could be the last show from Sarge's house. I don't think I'm going to be here Wednesday night. The show will be on the road somewhere, I do believe. Don't hold me to that. But for now, we're at Sarge's house, Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, episode 176. Ever so close to 200. And it's funny enough, I missed it. Last week was 2 years. 2-year anniversary of Bondzee doing this show. Bondzee Live started right here, right behind me on the floor with some puppets and some crazy little trinkets and Halloween shit. Got in trouble from me dad. And here we are 2 years later and 176 episodes later. We're back on the basement. We're not on the floor this time, at least. We got a desk. We got a nice desk. But we're out of here this Friday. This is it. I was supposed to originally fly out Friday, flying out Thursday, flying out Friday morning. And I promise, if the equipment gets sent and they don't lose, my computer doesn't get damaged, I will be coming to you live from San Juan del Sur, Nicaragua on Friday night. And I can't wait for that. That'll be something special for sure. Make sure you go to my YouTube channel. It's Trippin With Bondzee. Subscribe there. Smash the like button. Smash the follow. Everything. Whatever they want you to do, just do it. Okay. Hit that little bell thingy. Then you won't miss a show, and you'll be like, everything will be tickety boo. Life will be good. All right. That's how you do that. Follow me on all the social media at Bondzee Live. It's Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, all those fun things. Listen, tons of great content coming from Nicaragua. I'm going to be a little bit of a content slut while I'm there. I swear. So much. There's just so much amazing things to do in Nicaragua, and I really want you guys to get. For those who didn't follow me before, when I was living there for 3 years, I really want you to get a sense of what Nicaragua is all about, and I'm going to bring it to you. All right, you, and you too. Show is brought to you by Positive Mike's Brewing. He's out of Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Love this beer. Love the guy. And I love Edmonton too. It's a little cold for me, and I'd love it even more in the summertime. But Positive Mike's there. You can get some sick swag. The Bondzee Scheme t-shirt's a huge hit. Check it out. You got to get one. Be like one of the cool kids. You can also get it in a hoodie, I think. Speaking of hoodies, he's also got the amazing bright yellow one that's Peace, Love, and Beers, or Cheers, or however you want to say it. Support them. Go check them out on social media. There it is right there. Peace, Love, and Beers. Cheers. I don't care how you say it. It's both. It's like one of them Duolingo thingies. You can say it either way, and it's socially acceptable. Unlike some of the things I say on this show. Listen, sometimes the old mouth speaks faster than the brain can think. It happens. Stop yelling at me. You're not even my real mom. I'm not even on the chat section. Kel, how you doing? Tara Graves, thanks for tuning in. It's awesome. Daniel Baker says hello. Hey, friends. Hello to you, too. What else? The show's brought to you by Shakespeare's Fine Dining, Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. But, folks, it's almost here. 2 days. 2 days, you'll be able to book a table. Make sure you do for this weekend. Take your lady there. Ladies, take your fella there. Maybe if that's the way you roll and you're in charge. I'm going to assume you can still get curbside pickup, even though the restaurant will be open coming up on Wednesday. But listen, go check it out. www.shakespeares.com. Check out their menu. You won't be disappointed. Everything on there is amazing. You can also pick up some gift cards as well for your loved one, your girlfriend, your husband, whatever. It works for everybody, and it probably get you laid. I promise. Well, I don't promise because I'm not the one putting out. So hopefully it works for you. That's all I can say. But chances are it's going to be a double thumbs up. All right. Sponsor stuff's out of the way. I hope you guys had a great weekend. So I had a great weekend. Don't get me wrong. The whole snowmobiling thing, I went up there. The anticipation was pretty high. It was right up here, and I'd never done it. And I was like, oh, I'm going to get to go on this nice fancy sled. We're going to be ripping through the trails. We'll be flying out on the ice. Get there, get all suited up. Everything's looking fine and dandy. I'm like, oh, this is going to be so awesome. There's me and my buddy Red. He got me all set up. And listen, the only thing I wasn't worried about handling a sled or the speed of the sleds. What I was most nervous about was out there flying on the ice on Georgian Bay and hitting a pressure crack, because it happens. It happens. I don't know, frequently is the right word, but it definitely happens. And there's a whole bunch of us out there. It was a good time. There's my sled. So that's me at the start. I'm all bundled up there. I've got layers on. It was minus 30, minus 35. It's too damn cold. So two things kind of made my day. I hate to use the term shitty because I didn't have a shitty time or day, but certainly wasn't one of the funner fucking days I've had. That's for sure. I froze my goddamn ass off. Okay. Even layered up, even with hot pockets in my boots and my gloves. So we're an hour and a half to 2 hours in to the sled ride. Okay. Follow me here. Everything's going great. I'm keeping up to these guys. I almost lost them once, but I was able to, I just saw the cloud of dust and I was like, that's them. It's got to be. And I pegged it, caught up to them. And then I started falling back again. And my sled was like, I don't want to go this fast. I'm like, okay. So I've still got it kind of pinned, but it's not going pin fast, if you know what I'm saying. So then all of a sudden, boom, it takes off again. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of weird. Anyways, I catch up and they're all pulled over now. And it's what you do. You kind of go for a bit, pull over, make sure everybody's together, right? Anyways, Red's like, how's the sled run? I'm like, yeah, it's the gauge is going up a bit. It was running a little hot. So you ride in the snow just off the tracks and get all the snow running through the track, I guess, and up into the engine to cool down. So we did that. And I'm like, Red, it doesn't feel right. Like it wants to go, but it doesn't go. And then all of a sudden it fucking like takes off like a rocket, right? Anyways, one of the motorhead comes over, one of the gearheads, and he's like, he listens. He goes, you're only running on one cylinder. That's not good. Got to park it. I couldn't tell the difference. Sounded the exact same to me as it did before. But anyways, I'm not a gearhead. I don't know these things. Anyways, it turns out that was the problem. It's running on one cylinder. I didn't blow it up. It was his older sled. He had just bought it back from a buddy who had it. And anyways, it ran great for a couple hours. But there's nothing worse than enjoying this sled time, if you will, and having that rush and, you're firing to keep up. And then all of a sudden you're riding bitch with some dude you don't even know. There's me. It was a pretty exciting day overall. Listen, the whole entire thing is not for me. Yes, it would have been funner if I had my own sled the entire day, but still standing around this piss-ass little fire that doesn't last for very long because you're having a fire in the snow. There it is right there. So it was kind of warm for a bit, kind of, but then it dies down really quick. Don't, lest you think those flames lasted very long. They did not. Tough to get coals on snow, because guess what happens when you melt snow? It gets wet and damp and yeah. Anyways, God love them. Like there were so many people out there, even though it was absolutely fucking freezing, minus freezing cold, and they were out there by the truckload, like motherload. There was hundreds and hundreds of snowmobilers out. They love it. Bondzee does not love it. There's Bondzee's sled getting pulled home. So we had to leave it on the side of we were in the channel there, not right out in the open on Georgia Bay. And we tucked it in behind one of the cottages and then picked it up on the way back. And so then I'm still riding bitch on the back of some dude's sled, which I'm telling you, sucks. Now, if it was a nice girl, I would have been way better, but it wasn't. It was some dude. I never even met him. Anyways, it was still fun. The guy had a nice sled. It was big. Cruises like at Mach 2. And anyways, it was fun, but way more colder sitting on the back riding bitch. And it's just not for me. That will be Bondzee's first trip on the old snowmobiling. It will be my last trip in the old snowmobiling world. It's not my jam. I don't care if it was 0 degrees. Like today, and when I got back to Hamilton, it was 0 degrees. It was kind of nice out. I don't even care. Sledding is not for me. It's not at all. I didn't like it. At least I'm honest. I just didn't like it. It's not my jam. I loved ripping around, but they fucking wore off. By the time we already rode down, got gas, come back to Buddy's house, waited for a couple more riders, and then left, I was already done. I was like, oh, that was fun. Went all the way down, got gas, ripped it like Mach 2. I was like, holy shit, these things can fly. I was kind of done. It was fun going through the trees and stuff. Don't get me wrong, but it was just hours upon hours of just fucking hold everything to your life, and my entire body hurts like holy hell. You use muscles you've never even used before in your life. Anyways, the overall experience, I give it a 4 out of 10. That's it. That's all I got. It's too cold. Sucks. The views are nice. The fellas were nice. The ladies were nice. The rest, not so much. It is what it is, though. The sausages were good out on the open fire, and the view. I got a nice sunset view glass. Did you put that one up? That was kind of nice, and seeing all that, and I got the appreciation for it. Is what I got. Like I understand people's love for it and stuff. I don't have that love. Now, mind you, I can go out and play 36 holes of golf in a day, and most people would go, "Are you insane? Like you would go out and play 36 holes of golf in one day?" I'd be like, "Yeah, fuck. I would like to do it every day if I could." Anyways, it was beautiful out there. It really was. A little crisp, a little fresh. Too much for Bondzee, and that was enough. I hope to never do it again. I really do. But listen, if I have to do it and go out with the boys again and have some fun, I will. But I am not looking. If you're like, hey, Bondzee, if you're back next winter, you want to go do some sledding and stuff? No, I don't. Don't fucking call me because I don't want to go. They break down too much. Fucking other guy broke down on the way home. After we just picked up my sled, he breaks down. Half an hour standing there. It's dark now at this point. Sun's gone. It's wicked cold. I'm standing out in the middle of Georgian Bay just going, fucking please help me. Please help me. I'm going to die. I'm going to die out here. It's too cold. And I don't want to be like little, guys, are we almost done yet? Because this bald-headed fat fuck is going to freeze to death. I don't want to be that guy. I wasn't that guy. Kept my mouth shut. It was pretty much frozen shut anyway, so it didn't matter. But I made it. I made it back. We feasted on chicken wings and pizza and reminisced about how fucking cold it was that day. And anyways, it was fun times, but it wasn't the greatest of times. All right, moving on. What else? The football. Let's get into it. Your boy here. Listen, I'll start by saying sorry. I kind of promoted myself as a numbskull when it comes to picking football games. I went 1 for 4 the week before. Absolutely embarrassed myself, thinking I know about football and stuff, which I like to think I do. But 2 weeks ago, I didn't. This week, I did. Killed it. I picked Cincinnati. All you motherfuckers. Oh, you loser. I think Lindley called me a loser, so I was going to lose. Galassi was big on me. And it turns out I won. I won. They won, which means I won. Not that I even bet any money. But listen, before we get into the rest of football and the weekend and stuff, our guest is here for the evening. I forgot to promote him, but Brad Hopper, my boy. He was a paramedic. I think he still moonlights as a paramedic. He's got an amazing podcast called Offload Delay, which we'll get into. And now he's working in the firefighting realm full time. Without further ado, here he is. How are you, buddy?
Good to see you. Can you hear me all right?
We can. It's great to see you.
I'm not on my normal gigs here. If I got to go, I got to go.
Yes. So, folks, be warned. If Brad is at work at the fire hall right now. Is there a number like in the TV shows? It's like Station 182 or Truck 51.
Yeah, we're Station 1, buddy. Station
nice.
1.
No way.
Yeah. There's
That's
only
awesome.
2 here, so we're good.
Okay,
good evening,
so,
everyone watching. I see Mr. Wade on there. I won't interrupt you anymore, Bondzee.
No, that's all good. Listen, say hello to everybody at Station 1 for me.
Yeah.
If those bells go off,
Will do.
we know you got to go and save somebody's life. So that's awesome. I appreciate you taking the time to join me on Trippin With Bondzee on YouTube and the Dean Blundell Network, which you are familiar with, mister.
You betcha. It's been there's been some progress since I was on your podcast last, for sure.
That's
been
awesome.
a learning curve. It's going well. In a bit of a stumbling block this week between my schedule and trying to get guests not to cancel. I'm sure you're aware of that. But
Dude, it's one of the hardest
yeah,
parts.
so
And I was going to ask you, we were going to kind of get into the podcasting after, but we're into it now, so let's do it.
yeah,
It is going good for you. I've caught some of them, not all of them. You do have good guests, but it is one of the hardest parts of having a podcast. Do you find the same?
I do totally, and it's not only getting them, it's getting them to actually commit. I had some really good guests lined up twice now, some more powerful guests in our world, and they're reluctant to come on because they're governed from above, right? In this world, they
Yeah.
got a lot of political powers above them, and they're a little concerned as to speaking freely. And I'm not looking for any snitches or rats. I was just looking for some higher powers to come on and tell us how they got involved and their end of things. And quite often they bail at the last minute. They're too afraid of what their employer is going to say. So something I have to be careful of too, Bond, for sure.
Well,
I
that's what
need
I
to
was
be
going to
careful how I
ask
word
you.
it.
How is it going in that realm? Because I know last time you were on, we talked about it, and I think you mentioned it the last time you were on Dean's show, is that you were worried about the brass not being down with
Yeah,
this podcast, and
yeah.
then not only that, you stuck up for yourself in something, or you stuck up for everybody, and you were going to get your ass suspended for a bit. Did you ever end up getting suspended for that,
Yeah,
Brad? You
yeah.
did.
So I got to be careful with what I say with this. So they handed me a heavy sentence, and I negotiated it down to a lesser sentence, but I was still suspended.
Wow.
So my problem is the irony is when the CAO who was actually suspending me came on, they were mentioning my podcast the entire time, basically saying things like, "I know you're an advocate for long-term care. I know you have this," and just by their comments, they were able to prove that they were watching, and that's okay. I don't say anything inappropriate as far as slander on this podcast. Um, I really don't mention names or service names or department names. It's generally goodwill and an inside look at what we do. That's all it is, and it's our
Yeah.
look. It's it's been a good intro for a lot of people that either do know me that don't know really what my day in day out is involving, and of late, I don't know if you saw, but the long-term care turmoil in our province is out of control. And
It is bad, eh?
there's been some fierce advocates approach me to come on. And actually, the second long-term care one I did, it was approached. They proposed it to me to come on to get
Wow.
their voice out, and I couldn't do it enough. These
Yeah.
ladies are amazing. They're incredible. They're persevering. They have very few outlets for their voice, and I was flattered. I just kind of sat
That's
back and
awesome.
let the show go at some point. But
Well, yeah.
I think we're getting to the point
that
where I got to go alone though. Like I got to do what you do at times and just kind of ramble a bit, and I think that'll help with the guest part. But
Yeah, I mean, and that's what I end up doing. Yeah, like if you just see me rambling, it's because we might have had a guest, but it happens so much. Like if I have 5 guests lined up for the next 2 weeks, odds are only two of them are coming. You know,
yeah.
it's for
I
whatever
didn't even
reason. I
know if I
mean,
wanted to do it, Bondzee. I didn't know. Dean
yeah,
approached me. He came to me after I was on with you guys on his pod, and he said that he thinks there's enough info there, and he liked the kind of voice that I was bringing. That he encouraged me to create the pod under the network. And again, I said, why don't I just be your guy, your first responder you bring on every once in a while and we'll chat. And
yeah,
Dean, he said, fuck that. You're
yeah,
gonna have your own and we're gonna roll with it. And they've been so supportive.
yeah.
And I thought, you know what, if I have a voice, why can't I not be a voice for all these people? So that's where we're at. Growing pains though. Technology
How
wise,
scary was it for you at first? You must have been terrified of your first one, yeah?
yeah, you know what the worst one was that initial pod where they make you just talk to the camera and basically say what your podcast is about to try and promote it on Apple and Spotify. It's basically a resume for your podcast. And I
Right.
hated it. I hated just sitting there talking to myself, no audience intervention.
Yeah.
But honestly, I enjoy live a lot more. I do. I've did my first few recorded just to get a feel for it. And I basically felt like I wasn't editing it. I wasn't doing anything. I was just rolling it. So I
Oh,
thought,
wow.
why not do this live to get some interactions? And
Yeah.
I like
Real and
having the
raw.
audience on there a little better. Yeah. And away we go. But nowhere near to your numbers. My gosh, You said you're up in the 170s now. Is that where you're at, show wise? And your second anniversary.
Yeah, I'm at tonight is 176.
Congrats,
Yeah,
man. That's a
yeah.
big
Thanks.
congrats.
2 years.
And that's 2 years. Yeah. They say it's a
Yeah,
magic number.
yeah, and we've just we're just starting to get monetized, which is a real huge thing. You know, a big shout out because of the Dean Blundell Network, and you know, we're all running through Spotify now, and so it's taken 2 years and a lot of hard work and a lot of grinding. But you know, when I say we're getting monetized, it doesn't mean, you know, I'll get to quit my job or anything like that and do this full time. But
No.
you know, every little bit helps, and so I'm pretty proud of the fact that you know, I've even got there, because most people don't.
I've
So
jumped
it's pretty
on
cool.
with that group too now. So we had the meeting the other night with
Amazing.
Rookie and the
Okay.
Spotify and the
Yep.
megaphone, and we're doing all that as far as the monetization. But I'm still learning. As you say, it's proportional to your viewership and your downloads. So you can monetize all you want. It's
Yeah.
more or less being part of the team and helping out the whole network is joining in to contribute together. And it's basically their support that I need more than they need me, believe me. So
Yeah.
it's been a great experience, but Tara just put up there. It's tougher than you think. And absolutely.
It is. Tara's starting a
tough
brand
to
new
get on there.
podcast, and
Yeah.
she's been I've talked to her a couple times, and she's been terrified, like panic attack central, and you know, I try to help her and give her as much guidance as I can, but ultimately it's the individual. Once you hit go, you know, and
Yeah.
listen, like the first, I'm sure I sucked when I started 2 years ago. I know I did, you know, but it's something that you just keep working at and get better at over time. And you know,
It's true, but I always wonder if that one guest will ruin it for me for good when you're live. You never know, you know, and that's my concern.
Yeah, you're that concerned. Like, what, in what aspect? What do you think they could say that would ruin
I
you?
get some guys pretty fired up, and if they drop some names on there, or they drop some kind of information that we've agreed beforehand to keep on the lowdown, it could get tricky. But I'm not out there to sink anyone. I'm there to enlighten people, to kind of give them a view, like I said, as to what we do, and have a bit of fun. My last one was quite fun. We just got on and talked the shit that people will make them laugh, or they won't believe that we deal with it. We weren't allowed to talk COVID. We called it the C word. No C words allowed. So it was refreshing. But I've learned from you guys, from you as well. So as new as you think you are, or not as good as you make yourself out to be, you watch all of these and you jump on, and it helps being on the podcast too. Correct? As
Definitely. Yeah.
You learn kind of the etiquette of it, and it's sometimes the flow of the conversation is the toughest part. Everybody wants to say something, or nobody's saying anything. And,
yeah. Justin says I still suck now. Haha, just kidding.
Yeah, it's all in your guess,
yeah, I
right?
probably do. Listen, everybody. I'm still learning. I really am. Some days are easier than others, and some shows just have a flow to them. And then there's other, like I hit end, and I go, what the fuck was that, Bonds? Like, what are you doing? You know, so
that's what makes them real, though. And I think the realness, the rawness of all these podcasts are what the appeal is. It's not very little script. Like, obviously we have a roadmap, but the pod evolves as you talk, and as the conversation steers sideways, and as the host, you're kind of steering it back a little bit, but you'll let it run a bit. And that's what kind of makes it amazing to the viewers, I think, and to us participating. I will say this: it's been very therapeutic for me. It's some of the topics we've talked about already have been pretty raw and pretty tough, and I've had to address it. And I've actually changed a few things myself as far as my mental health and what some of my guests have offered to what we should be doing. And I'm appreciative of that. And I'm no better than any of them. That's what I didn't want to bring out. As a first responder, you go on here and you don't want to be the guy that everyone thinks, I don't know any more than all the other first responders out there. I'm just a voice. I've seen it. I haven't seen it all. But let's just, let's keep it real. And I've met some great people, met you guys, Tara, and through the social networks on the side, you meet so many other people. Like
you sure do. Isn't that great?
I wanted to say hi to Wade, wish Doe all the best. I chat with Wade every once in a while. They're in my thoughts all the time. And
definitely.
just really, really good people that I think the connect is we're only watching these pods because we're all interested. It's like getting a group together with the same interests. So right away, the commonality is there, and it's I enjoy that part. It's really rewarding.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head when you said it's therapeutic. Like there's days where I really struggle to get to the point of going live because my brain, in some days, just goes, no, I don't want to go live. I don't feel like talking to anybody. I want to crawl into bed and hide in the darkest hole. And not so much. I almost said to feel sorry for myself. I never do that, but it's sometimes those demons just take over the darkness. And being able to get here, and then as soon as I hit go, I feel like I forget about the fact that I have PTSD and I'm super depressed a lot of the time and I have anxiety now. And when I'm live, dude, it all goes away. It really does. And it's fantastic. But like you said,
proves you're not
sometimes
alone,
getting
right?
there. Yeah,
You're
and
not
I'm
alone.
not. And people have really come to enjoy my openness and honesty, almost, to a fault sometimes I am. But I think it helps. It helps people. It helps me, and it helps people kind of realize, like, fuck, I'm not alone either. Like when they feel the way they do, I'm not crazy, but I have my issues.
Yeah, I've been struggling this weekend with the Ottawa shit. I know you're probably going to get into that. And last Friday, I was working in Kingston on the ambulance side of things, and the motorcade actually interfered with our response to an accident on the highway. And I don't have any patience for that. And then I saw the monuments getting kind of vandalized and defaced, and we're out there trying to go through the grind of this COVID crap on our own and all this, like everybody else. And now you're interfering with us. And what go ahead, protest your freedoms, go for it. But don't take away other people's freedoms while you do it. And when they're shutting down the malls up there, and there's schools that are closed, there's liquor stores that are closed.
All right.
Like, come on, just that's where my patience draws a line, and I basically, I don't know, that's where you kind of say your dark hole, where you get into a spot where you're like, I don't even know if I want to chat today, but then you get on, and you're like, yeah, you know what, this is good. There's a better world out there. So
Yeah.
Good for you for getting on the sleds, though. I was thinking of you this week. It was cold Saturday my way, and you weren't that far from me, probably about 2 hours. So
Is that
it
right?
was fresh. Yeah. So
Yeah. It was. Listen, it's not for me. People love it. I was stunned at how many people were at the different stops we made, and then how many sleds you just see out there in general. It wasn't even like 100 or 200, dude. I'm talking hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of sleds out on Georgian Bay and all the little trails in and around there. It looks like a fun thing to do, but it's one of those things. They cost a shit ton of money. The gas isn't free. Then there's they're always breaking down, it seems like. And then it's
I don't
most
own
of the time it's winter. It's cold. Like it's not my jam.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad I did it once. And that's that. So back to the podcasting real quick.
Sorry. Yeah, I didn't
it's
mean
off.
to
No,
lead
it's
you
all
astray.
good. Listen, we get off the tracks on this show quite a bit, so nothing I'm not used to. I know Glassy wants to ask a question. I'll bring him in a second. But besides like the hardest part, you saying the guest and stuff, what is there another thing that you find difficult and you wish you could be better at it almost immediately?
Everything. I don't have a director, bud. I don't have a producer. I'm doing all the shit live behind the scenes myself, and
it's hard by yourself, isn't it? Like way harder.
It is, because sometimes I feel like I might miss something, or I don't think there's a single thing I wouldn't do better at if I could, including getting the guests to commit a little more. But sometimes, I don't know. I almost put out an open cast. I almost put out a call for people that had some show ideas, and I was trying to get some more audience involvement that way. Sometimes I feel like I'm throwing my ideas at them a little too much, and I'd like to see. It's still new, but I think every once in a while maybe we'll do like a free for all Friday or something like that, where we'll say, now it's that time of the month. Let's just ask the questions that are asked, because we get some crazy questions, and I don't think I address half of what people are interested in. And it's not only from our side. Like, I don't want to just have responders on. Of course, that's what we have, but I want to have the public on too that aren't responders to ask the questions of us and kind of see how they see us, which is sometimes humoring. Yeah.
Does it frustrate you, Brad, that you're sort of censored in a way and you can't be fully open and honest and tell people the truth of what goes on behind the scenes in your industry? Does it frustrate you? Like, yeah.
Yeah, it's I think though I can get the message out if you can read between lines. I think, and most of the audience can do that. I just can't say. It really doesn't matter what Mrs. name is or what the administrator's name is or the service name is. It really, when it comes down to it, those details don't really matter. I can still convey the idea how we have a lack of support from management, or they plead that they claim and advertise that mental health is our number one priority, when I could give you 10 examples just from this week where it's not. So yeah, it's frustrating, but at the same time, it is a little rewarding to be able to express that. And I do have a lot of feedback from colleagues that I've met and ones that I don't even know yet. Brothers and sisters out there that thank me for at least trying to bring the message forward, because sometimes we feel like we are left without a voice, for sure.
Do your colleagues really enjoy the show? Do you get a lot of positive feedback?
Yeah, right now that's keeping me alive. Is I get a lot of shit. I get a lot of shit talk. You know, that's the way our world works. Is if they're not picking on you, they don't like you.
That's right.
But I can dish it right back. I do have a lot of feedback, and I have a lot of feedback in very good ways, especially that I haven't had one fire show yet. Everything's been ambulance or long-term
Is that
care.
right?
I haven't had the fire guys on yet, because
Station One fellas and ladies are going to be pissed at you.
I got to make sure that, that's my picture right there from a typical day as a medic. You know, that's in Kingston right there, and that's just an average line of ambulances. But I do, I got a fire show coming up, but I have to be careful because I'm so connected to them right here. I got to make sure that the right ones come on first.
Right.
You know what I mean? It could go sideways quick, and I'm going to. Sometimes actually when I'm on at home, they have it on at the hall. And that's kind of cool too. They're watching it live from the hall. So
that's awesome.
We support each other, right?
We had a great question here from Josh White. And this is a thing, right? Full Moon Fridays. Does such a thing exist? It does, correct?
100%.
The crazy.
I actually look ahead of my schedule and try and figure out.
I've asked you this question before now that I remember.
Yeah. The phases of the moon and all the full moon stuff, most people look at it for hunting or fishing or all these wildlife people. And I do enjoy the outdoors, but I look at it to see if I have to work and if I need to use some time off. I will literally book the fullest. If I get like that super blue moon, that harvest moon, whatever, I will try and book it off. I will use my time. It's a true thing. And I guess there's some science behind it with the gravitational pull that's going on. And it's, I know I'm in for a long one when those nights comes up. Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that something? It's not one night. It's like a couple of days around.
Because it takes like the moon is almost full. It's like that. It's got to come full circle to go, almost full, and then it kind of fades away. So it's like a 2, 3, 4 day crazy cycle. Danielle says she worked LTC. No one can tell me otherwise. It's factual.
Absolutely, and I would challenge all of you, first responder, healthcare or not, just if you look back, if you ever track these sorts of things, just watch the full moon and look back at what happened that week or that weekend
in the news or something.
Or for yourself, you'll be like, that was a really weird weekend, or I was a little more high strung, or I really felt it. It affects most people. It's just some of us can keep it controlled and some of us can't.
Yeah, but, I would love to document a weekend on a ambulance or a cop or something. It would be fun to go out and.
Close, weren't you?
I was. Well, I was supposed to do it with. I was supposed to go on a ride along with Reggie. I'm not sure if you're familiar.
When you were younger. Oh yeah. I don't blame you for the Reggie thing. Yeah,
we had to bail out of that ride along quickly.
Yeah. But when you were younger, did you not get into? Something?
I did go on a ride along. It was a Friday night, and I was working ambulance co-op, and I did get to do a Friday night. But back then, we didn't have cell phones and video cameras and stuff per se. But where the phone, you could just pull it out and get some stuff. But I have experienced a Friday night of it, and from what I remember, there's a lot of crazies out there for sure. But I'd love to do it again now.
It definitely is a thing. It's a real thing. Well, unfortunately, we've got. All that's gone. We live in a world now of too many liabilities, too many legalities. We used to have high school rideouts, which is crazy if you think about that in the ambulance. high school rideouts. So I had a 15-year-old girl riding out with me once in the ambulance. 15. And the stuff that we're seeing and getting subjected to is not fit for someone 18, let alone 15. But
Yeah.
it's too bad because then you're stuck. You don't know if you want to do the job till you're in it, right? Because you can ride out in college and you can ride out from school, but nowadays it's too hard. The whole world's about liability right now. But I think you should have. It'd be love to document. And that's the other problem. We can't document anything really, right? We have to be so
Yeah.
careful with our
Yeah.
phones. We're not allowed any pictures at all.
Really?
If we're on a scene, unless I'm physically talking to a physician on the phone and he or she requests a picture of, say, the accident that we're at to get a visual of where this patient might have been in the vehicle or whatever the mechanism was, no, I can be in a lot of shit if I bring pictures anywhere
Wow.
from that. Yeah, so it's just, again, it's like a freedom of information or a lack thereof. But
Right.
the media can take all the pictures they want, so we usually just go to there anyway.
Well, that's
So
what I'm trying to spin it off as is, I work for DeanBlundell.com. It's a media-based
yeah.
thing. Maybe we can spin something
It would
one
be
day where
ideal, actually. If you ever came back from the tropics, it would be ideal to do it that way because we have had journalists ride out.
cool.
Yeah, and they've done
Well,
some pretty
I'll
cool
definitely
stories
look
on
at
it.
it when I
So
get back. We
yeah,
can maybe we'll talk to some brass up there because I missed you this time around. I was supposed to get up there. I got
yeah,
a special package for you. It's no secret. I got some Mike's beers for you. We got the Bondzee
I
scheme
heard.
going
Can't wait. Yeah,
and a couple more. So those are in the mail as of tomorrow, Mister. I am sorry I missed you. I was supposed to be live from Station 1 there in Kingston, and
yeah.
well, we'll do it hopefully when I get back. And
You know
anyways, your
what?
beers
We
are
got
in the
lots of
mail.
time, and I wanted to thank the guy, Cal. Is it Cal and Mike
Yep,
that
yep.
are
Positive Mike,
with the?
Kellen Mike.
Yeah, I wanted to thank them for supporting that, giving you
Yeah,
some merch to spread our way because it'll definitely be advertised on our pod too. So
awesome.
it'll be a
Yeah,
great
they're
go.
great
So
people, and
yeah, we
those
just
should be
couldn't line
there
up
by
our
the end of the
schedule,
week.
right?
I hope.
Oh, that'd be fantastic. It's great timing. So
Yeah,
I'm off for a few
definitely.
days come Thursday, so we'll be good.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
Listen, we were talking about the whole full moon and stuff and how that affects people and stuff. It's February 1st tomorrow. Is
mhm.
that notoriously a month, Brad, where it affects a lot of people too? The entire month, the February blues.
We're in it
Is
right
it a
now.
real thing too?
We're in it right now. It's usually,
Yeah.
I think they say about the second week of January on.
Okay. Into
It's a
February. Yeah.
combination, they say, of daylight hours for us in this region, how you
Okay.
basically are from dark to dark, and it's also that effect of the Christmas bills and the hype of
Right.
Christmas and the holidays wearing off. Everybody goes from 110 miles an hour to zero real quick, and then they feel
Yeah.
lonely, and then the bills come in. And so, yeah, we've had a few. This is when we have an increase in our call volume for certain call types where people aren't doing too well, for sure, if you know what I
Yeah.
mean.
Yeah, for
And
sure. That's got to be
but it's
tough on you
hard to
guys.
judge it. It is. It's hard to judge it with COVID though, because COVID's drawn that out throughout the year. We
Yeah.
used to have suicide season, what it is. It's a horrible
Wow.
name, but that's
It
what it
is a
was for us.
horrible
Is
name.
generally
Wow.
it's the time where calls would be peaked with those particular call types, and now with COVID, it seems, unfortunately, to us, like people are just. It was worse in the first year of the pandemic, I think, as it was setting in, but
Right.
um, it's diluted now, unfortunately. But yeah, it's a real thing, and we got to get through. I've noticed in the daylight hours, even in our area now, they're changing. We're getting a little bit more daylight, and we're getting there. And the temperatures will be swinging a bit, but we'll be good.
Yeah.
Everybody just needs to keep their chin up. But
For sure. Listen, it's before I let you go, it's been a while since you've been on the show. Any crazy calls since you were last on? Have you saved any lives? Any cats from roofs or trees?
there's always crazy stuff that goes on. I'll tell you. Yeah, there's been nothing. Nothing in bums. I know we've talked about that
Okay.
on
Yeah, but
Dean's
we're not
show where
that's special for Dean's show.
yeah,
I've come to always respect and learn that. I learned right away. But
yeah.
anything else
But
crazy? Anybody whacked their pee really hard where they were like needing a service?
we had an attempted. It's sad, but it's funny. I mean, someone tried to connect a car battery to their nipples for sexual
Wow.
pleasure, because
Jesus.
apparently, I don't know what it's called.
I haven't seen that on Aloha Tube.
There must be
That's
a
my
channel for it
masturbation
somewhere.
site, in case you were wondering.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
there you
sorry.
go. Hey, it's always good to know what that is.
Hey, it's a good one. It's a good one. You're
So
welcome for the
he
recommendation.
actually, apparently, while you're pleasuring yourself, if you connect yourself to a car battery and all the things happen at the exact same time, it will be an incredible sensation. Well, this one didn't. This one
Not so
didn't go
incredible.
too well. Yeah, but it wasn't a fatality. But I mean, you're getting there, and we have to bring everything with us, right? We need to bring as much of the product as we can. So here we are trying to bring wires and a battery and everything so that the docs can look at it and figure out. But this poor bugger just wanted
How
to get
old
his
was he?
wank off.
Are you allowed to say that even?
Oh yeah, he was a middle-aged man in his 50s.
Really, eh?
Still trying to get
Fucking
things
hell,
fired
he
up.
must.
But I mean, yeah, it's American.
Brad, you were supposed to tell.
I'm giving away all
Wade.
the secrets of these dudes.
It's your dad.
Wade's logged on. Yeah. No, there's
that's a good one.
There's not a day that goes by that there's not a weird call, an odd call, or a lot of site calls right now too. Like we're getting calls for people that are being spied on, and they think they're being poisoned and stuff like that. And
Really?
it's no legitimacy to it. They send the fire department there with our gas machines to see if we can detect anything.
And is this due to drugs, or is it due to just paranoia from the COVID and then the QAnoners, or is
health? No, I can't say directly QAnoners, but there's definitely a huge mental health contingency out there as a baseline. And if you want to add the drugs on top of it, you get quite a combination that we're seeing a question from Danielle, big spike in ODs. Absolutely. So I'm gonna take that as kind of a segue there before I go, if you're trying to rush me off. But
I'm not trying to rush you off, bro. You're welcome to.
If you took COVID away right now, we would have frontline opioid crisis all over our news like you've never seen it before. We are seeing numbers daily. We are doing 2 and 3 overdoses a day in our smaller towns every single day. And it's not a particular group. It's not a particular age, ethnicity. It's everywhere.
It's all over the map.
It's all cultures. It's all demographics. It's all both genders. Or all genders. I'm sorry, I can't say both. All of them. And it doesn't discriminate. And I can't believe that it's not headline news because of COVID.
Brad, were those type of deaths news back before COVID?
For sure. In these numbers, they would have been headline news, not just news. Okay. I remember when I started, so as a medic-wise, say we're in my 20th year now. In my first 12 years, I gave Narcan once.
Wow.
And that was it. Because people were smoking hash, they were doing weed, they were doing coke, and then the opiates came in and the game changed. And there was always overdoses. And Narcan only works on the opiates, as you may or may not know. And this particular call I did years ago was a guy that was on methadone, and he decided to stockpile it, and he took it all. And so we can reverse it with the Narcan. There was none of this every day going out on the street and just blasting people with Narcan. So
how many times you figure you're doing it a week now? Is it like that? Is it weekly?
Yeah. It's as crews, like I'll go to the ambulance side for now. 3 and 4 times a shift, so 3 and 4 times in a 12-hour period. Wow. And you can watch the deliveries actually move down the street blocks. It's incredible because we'll go to one address, and then 15 minutes later we're called another block south of that, and it just keeps moving down and down and down. And the public is actually more proficient with the Narcan than even us now. Because I don't know if you know this, and I don't know that I'm not trying to promote this, but if these users, and it's a terrible name for it, I have no stigma attached to any of this, but the people that are using kind of up their game when the Narcan became available to everybody. Because if you and I were using Bondzee, you might say, here, Brad, hold the Narcan. I'm going to up the game a bit. And if I go south, you help me out.
Come on. That's where it's at.
So this is what we're seeing. Yeah, we're seeing people trying. And now a lot of these opiates are coming through the internet. And they're Chinese, Asian.
They don't even know where they're getting them from.
That's right. And there's no say what's in them. So
Oh,
sometimes the Narcan won't work because there's other drugs mixed in or chemicals. It's a sad state. And I think it's a state that needs to be advertised a little bit to open up people's eyes. Because I think once this COVID blanket peels back, which it will eventually, there's going to be a lot of surprises there waiting for us that are going to be like, well, what do we do with this now? And then we got to deal with everybody who's gone through trying to help all these people through the pandemic. Now we got to be on board to help them afterwards too.
Yeah. So Danielle asks, do you find that because there are so many, like it's just beyond numbers?
Individual calls for sure. Individual calls, yeah, you wouldn't make the news anymore. That's not news anymore. But what would make the news is a daily total, or a weekly total, or a monthly total. That would be newsworthy to say that this week it is. I will say in our fire department, in the department here with the fire team, I am the medical trainer. So with that, I'm in charge of compiling the data for the department. That's all it means at the end of the year. The number one call we do in the fire department is medical assist. So of all the calls we do all year, we're out helping ambulance most. That's about more than a third of what we do. And of those calls, the number one thing we do is overdoses. So basically it is our number one call period that we do out of everything.
A lot of people are talking about these kits being readily available, and it was my next question, and they kind of beat me to it in the comments. These Narcan kits, is it almost detrimental that they're available in the pharmacies locally?
No. Well, that's going to get into ethics, Bondzee. That's a tough one. It's like, is a safe injection site? Is that a good thing or not? So I don't touch on that. I believe that Narcan is essential out there because these people aren't intending to kill themselves.
Right.
And it will quickly
So
reverse
it is saving them
if it's truly
overall.
an opiate. And it's saved a lot of lives. It has. And quite often we'll show up and it's already been given, and then we just continue care of the patient, either breathe them for them or do them whatever. But it's I would never speak badly of it, but it's up the game. It's up the ante, if you know what I mean. It's giving people a set of courage they didn't know yet. But yeah, it's
always chasing the devil, eh?
It's a mess. And then the mental health is even worse because all of these people, whether they're, if you're an addict of any kind, whether it's alcohol, drugs, sex, anything, you need your group therapy. You need your regimented, these people rely heavily on the once a week or once a day or whatever they're into, meeting with others that have the same issues as them and moving forward with their therapy. Well, that the pandemic took that away too. So it also took away their safety net and their strong. So we lost a whole bunch of people that were progressing down the recovery chain when the pandemic hit and you weren't allowed to be around people. And a lot of your behavior was no longer observed, right? You're alone. You're tucked away in a house and you can order stuff off the internet. But I didn't want to make this too heavy for you, bud. This is
no, it's all.
It's interesting.
I'm fine with it, and
it is a heavy
I think
topic,
it's good
but
to talk about it, and it should be more known and talked about because it is it's out there and it's rampant and it's not good, dude. You know.
And I think
I've got
if
friends
you're traveling, Bondzee, even like have some on you, have some Narcan on you.
Really?
You never know. Like when you're down there, because if guests are around or people are around, it's going to make the difference. And it's as easy to carry. It's benign. If you don't need it and you get it, it won't do a thing. It won't do a damn thing unless you're on pain pills, and it might take them away and make you hurt a bit. But that's it. No, it's our number one problem, in my opinion. And I've seen a lot of the calls over the last few years in the province. This is leading the way right now, and it's being masked by this pandemic. So,
crazy.
Yeah.
How's the mental health side of things for you and the guys and the ladies at Station 1 and in your group in general? Do you guys have availability in-house and out-house? Like, is there online chat groups? Nothing, eh? Like, do you guys
we don't have any in-house. We don't.
You don't, eh? You don't sit around as a group and kind of share your stories and stuff?
Yeah, you're right. But we're not professionals by any means. We definitely are our biggest debrief. We are there's certain stories I have at work that have never left work, and they never will. That's just where we deal with them there. Mental health wise, it's slipping like everybody. We are expected to never really show the effects of the wear and tear of this pandemic, especially right now. And I particularly have a lot of people leaning on me from having the podcast. I'm having people come up to me with questions, and they offer some information that makes me basically just think I need to find a way to get them some help. I can't help them myself, but it's not as advertised. I will say that. I've always said that in the emergency service world: police, fire, ambulance, corrections, all of them, military. These employers will tout how amazing they will stand behind us in that. Here's a classic example. I will admit this openly. At one point in my career, we have what's called an employee assistance program. And when you get hired, they give you a card and they give you a training video and you watch. And if you ever need help, here's your emergency number. So you put it in your pocket and you hope you never need it. Well, one day I needed it. I had a terrible call, and I'm not afraid to admit it, or I don't feel too weak to admit it. And when I called, they said that they had an appointment for me in 3 months. And I was in crisis at that time. And 3 months was still meeting the employer's need to say that they have an assistance program, but what they don't tell you is it's not always readily available. And what I will say is the other option is you then go to the emergency department, the same emergency department that we serve day in, day out. We're not anonymous there. This isn't a secret world to us. And this is part of what wanted me to get on my podcast, to kind of try and trigger something to move it forward. There's someone there, there's Tamara there saying same thing. You can have an appointment.
Yeah.
So they're able to advertise in a lot of these places. I'm not going to say it's everywhere. I can't speak for everyone, but I know that it's well spread that they do have a program. It's just, that's horrible news. That's horrible news. And I know I've lost some dear ones. I've had to go to a service funeral myself for mental health for a colleague. So my regards, Tamara. It's a terrible thing. But I think it's important to note that not enough is being done either. It's everywhere. It doesn't matter what line of healthcare you're in. Mental health, whether it's for the workers or for the patients, or we are the patient, or whether it's the drug addiction, or whether it's the pandemic, there's not enough everywhere. There's too many people, not enough resources at this point, and they're not being managed properly. I think we do really lean on each other the hardest, like you say. Our brothers and sisters at the hall, our brothers and sisters in the ambulance. And I think it's almost my job to keep that at work sometimes, because I don't think I should drag it home.
Yeah.
There's certain things my kid has no idea that I've done.
Right.
He's 21 now. He's in the military now. He just enlisted. He's down doing basic training right now, and he still doesn't know all the stories. He doesn't need to know. There's certain parts of this world that no one should know, and you just leave it there. And that's my job. That's the filter. That's what I signed up for. So we're going to move forward with it and keep everybody supported and keep doing our job as best we can. But
for sure, and it's not an easy job, Mister.
And we all have it. Well, we have our own demons, Bond. You do too.
Yeah.
Everybody in this panel can look and go, this part of my life sucks, and this part of life is good, and it's just how it's balanced. And we're not unique, and I think that's why the podcast can be productive as well. So we got Army Chris on right now, bud.
Oh boy, here we go.
Bit of a show, but I really appreciate everyone's comments that have been coming through.
Listen, people are loving your podcast, dude, and they've enjoyed your appearances on Dean when he first started. Now it's turned into this offload delay podcast, which is awesome. Remind everybody when and where it's on. You're once a week, I believe you do, right?
I'm trying. The problem is in my world
with your schedule.
I can't say every Monday because I work a random rotation through where I know that every third Monday I'll work or whatever. So I try and do it once a week. This week's it's been thrown to the dogs, and it's gone because of my schedule and because of a guest canceling. But we will also we'll be back next week or the week. I try and do it every week, but every week on the not week. It's the Dean Blundell Network. It's almost every week.
Yeah, right.
It's almost at 3 o'clock. It's almost at 9 o'clock. So
I love it.
I should also say, Fire for Effect, amazing podcast. Army Chris, I've had him on.
Yeah.
He's been on
Great
mine.
guy.
We're going to get together with his buddy JT soon. And Army Chris, if you haven't seen his podcast or his visit with me on mine, he has the most epic swear list moment in the history of podcasting online, and it actually raised money for a charity. Yeah, it
That's
was
amazing.
fantastic. So Army Chris is an amazing person. There's so many great people on this, including these guests that are constantly on. You see Danielle, you see
For
Kel,
sure.
you see
Yeah.
Tamara, you see them all. And
Yeah, it's
of course,
amazing the
Glassy
support
somewhere
this
behind that.
network has brought. It really is something special.
Yeah, there's Army Chris. Watch it. It cost him $300. So he was doing $10 a swear. So you can do the math pretty easy.
Holy mackerel! Yeah.
In one list, we went like 45 minutes or 40 minutes into the pod. He didn't swear once, and he did it. And he told me he could do it. And then he unleashes, and it's a classic moment. I want to replay it over and over on my Twitter, but it's just going to get me canceled. That's all it's going to be. And he donated it to one of my partners, which is I've Got Your Back 911, which is a group that supports mental health for first responders and suicide prevention. So it was a fantastic cause. But I agree with you. This podcast has been a fantastic network. You were one of the first ones I was ever on after Dean. And we had technical issues that night. I remember that was awful. But
we did, yeah.
I could barely hear you, but you were having bus issues and I was having weather issues, and it was but it's part of the history now, so it makes it good.
Yeah, it is. And we got through it, and here you are. I think this is second or third appearance.
I've been on with you twice now.
Yeah.
It just feels like three, because it just never seems to go away. But
right on. Listen, Glassy, I forgot he asked earlier, he wanted to ask a question.
Well, I'm kind of past that. Well, it was going on the Narcan and stuff like that, but we've moved on from that.
Go ahead.
Sorry, bro. I kind of missed you there.
No, Brad, appreciate what you do. Love your podcast. Big fan.
Thank you.
As a journalist, I totally get where you're coming from with mental health, because I've covered a lot of accidents where you walk away going, holy fuck, I can't believe. So you go and you decompress, but there are no supports. There in our industry, there is no supports. I covered a story last year. It was last Thanksgiving. The Fraser River here. The kids were speeding. It was 11 o'clock at night. They hopped the guardrail. They went down. The car submerged into the river, and two of the three died. And I covered that story, and that was Thanksgiving weekend, right? These kids got to go home to their families. These kids have, friends, schoolmates, everything like that. And that was hard for me. So I totally get where you're coming from on the mental health aspect, where you guys have none, because I'm great friends with a lot of people within the industry here, both paramedics, both firefighters, because you all see them at the same things. You see them at the same events, right? Like you cover, hey, how's it going, Joe?
We know the media guys. We know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And we form a relationship with them too, right? So we'll go for beers after, and it's like, holy fuck, can you believe that, right?
Yeah.
But there is no supports. You're entirely right. Like even in my industry, it's wild.
But I can't just say us. Like there's first responders, but I'll tell you, the tow truck drivers, they got it bad.
Yep.
They often are left with a big mess. Another one is people that are in apartment buildings. Those landlords, the superintendents, they're often ones doing wellness checks on all these people. And I swear a superintendent in our city sees more dead people than I do, or unwell people. And so the first responder kind of encapsulates a nice group of us, but it's well beyond that, and it affects everybody. And I appreciate everybody out there has the same struggles at some point. And it doesn't matter what your demon is, you have a demon, and it's going to want to come out every once in a while. And sometimes it has to, and sometimes you got to learn to work with it. And I'm very grateful for the support, though, of the pod that we're doing now, and we're going to keep rolling with it. I think that we need to get over this little. I'm almost in a little bit of a funk right now, but I have some great ideas. It's just I got to make them come into fruition. So once I'm moving to Honduras or Nicaragua or whatever, then I know I've made it. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Then I know I've made it.
Well, listen, if you ever have some time off, a week or two, come on down to Nicaragua, and that's where you can really unwind and have a good time. I'll take you surfing and whatever, hike some volcanoes, and you'll have the greatest time.
That sounds amazing.
If you ever need a hand there, Brad, you let me know. I'm just a Twitter message.
I appreciate that.
Away, so.
Yeah, I appreciate that. You guys are doing a great job.
Thanks, man. Well, we love and appreciate you. Everybody does too. Like I said, it is one big happy family that we're a part of. Listen, I love your podcast. The people love your podcast. It's called Offload Delay. Everybody got to go check it out. It's we don't have a set schedule because listen, the guy's busy and it's hard getting guests, and he's out there saving lives. But you can go check it out. It's on the Dean Blundell Network. It's called Offload Delay. It's with Brad Hopper. And I really have to say, when this popped up earlier, I wanted to say I really do love the logo.
Yeah.
It kind of capulates you in is that the right word? Capulate?
Yeah.
I don't even know. Okay, good.
I'm not going to correct you
I'm
on your
getting
own
smarter.
pod, Bond.
What's that?
Yeah. I'm not going to correct
No,
you on
you
your
can.
own pod.
It's
You say
okay.
what you
You
want.
know, you can make fun
think
of
you meant-
everybody
by
else
now.
does.
I think you meant encapsulates, but I know what you mean.
Encapsulates. There we go.
I know.
They're
what
big
you mean.
I
words.
love the dog in the corner. It's
That is
fantastic.
my that's my everything. That's my
Snuck your little
anyone that
buddy in
knows
there.
me. Yeah.
I get it
And
more than
that's
anybody.
my mental health. Anyone that follows me on socials, I often post too many pictures of her. That's what I do.
Out in the
I
woods,
work
man,
and I go
free
walk
your
the
mind.
dog. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
100%.
So I appreciate
really
the kind words, Bondzee. Very good.
No, and I mean every one of them, dude. And listen, all the best. Good luck. Keep plugging away at it. You do a great job. And I know it's not easy, dude. 2 years in and there's still, I still fumble fuck through some of these shows. So keep at it. Never get down and just watch your P's and Q's with the brass because they're watching, mister. And not the Dean brass, your brass.
I got you. No, I that's my dance that I'm walking, and I got to try and get a few of them on. That's the key. If they'll come on and chat a bit, and that's where I'm struggling. They often are worried about what city council will say, and it just keeps going on and on. So I just say, you know what, forget it. But I have a female fire chief, and she's done some amazing things, and I have a great show coming up. The problem is it's not till March, where I have several women coming on to discuss Women's Week and being a female first responder and the trials and tribulations they have that are unique to them. And I'm just going to let that roll. And it's going to be a great look into that side of it too, because it's easy for us to sit here and complain, but sometimes I've had some entitlement myself. It has to be. That's the generation I grew up in. And I want to pay it back a little bit. I tell you what, it's tough to be right now. It's tough to be a white, middle-aged, bald guy with a pickup truck in Ontario. There's
Really,
a huge stigma around that. Now, I only have a little truck, but I have a truck, and I just you got some looks out here, and it's that's none of my gig in Ottawa at all. Believe me.
Yeah. Well, I'm thankful I don't have a truck then at this point.
Did you catch that bullshit in Ottawa on the weekend with that ambulance? I know it first came out as the patient died in trauma, but it turned out that it wasn't trauma. It was actually he made it. But the racial slurs.
So this is the one that, and then I've also seen there was a post 9 hours ago with City TV Ottawa or something on their Twitter where they were, yes, there it is there with the rocks. They were throwing rocks at an ambulance. What's that going to do? What's that proving?
That's insane.
Nothing.
And I wish they would give us some right of way for protesters because I myself have had blocked avenues into the hospital with the last round of protests in the summer of this year. And if they let me have my way, I'd be at the hospital a lot quicker.
100%.
And there needs to be some better rules on interfering with the 911 system. That's all it is.
100%.
Because we're just part of the path, right? That once you dial 911 till you get your ass in the hospital, we're just in that chain of events. So it should be illegal, and hopefully people are slowly going to lose their fear to address these people at some point. I think that's part of the leniency we've had in this pandemic with certain individuals, certain behaviors has led to like the whole, when you're up at West Edmonton Mall, Bondzee, and the whole Chris guy, like there's just too much lenient. That guy should have been gone ages ago.
100%.
And it just led to too much crap. I'm all for freedom of speech, but there's a limit. Ask any of our veterans like Army Chris there what went on in Ottawa with these memorials, and I was shaken by it. I can't imagine if I had served as well. Like it's just
100% bullshit. That was 100% bullshit.
Boil their blood for sure. Seeing
I got a text message over the weekend from a friend of mine, or I guess I don't know, what do you call them? Acquaintance, and she was like, "Yeah, the truckers in Ottawa, blah 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 blah." I'm like, but half of them defaced our fucking memorials.
Yeah.
How do you condone that as all right?
That's what I was done. Those horns alone would drive me crazy. But how are they not interfering with the sound of a siren?
Yeah.
Responding to a call so that you can no longer appropriately hear it. And that to me should also be an interference with the 911 system right there.
Yep.
Yeah, it should.
let alone noise pollution and obstruction of, like a peaceful environment that everybody's entitled to. It's just, you could go on and on. But
Protest, but pick
protests
your
are
time
okay.
and place. Pick your time and
And
place,
be
though.
respectful. You can
Yeah.
have a
And
respectful
horns for
your
8
argument.
hours or even longer,
Oh,
just constantly. Like I
exactly.
wouldn't. That's not my jam.
I
No way.
No, and it would obviously cause some trauma to people, right? And then imagine
Yeah.
the PTSD, people that have already adverse effects to noise. And then you're going in and like I said, then they've shut down the schools, and their freedom is more important than the mall and the employees of everybody that works there and their welfare. Yeah, it's disgusting.
Their
It's
welfare.
disgusting.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Definitely.
But I
You know,
I'm all for have your opinion, have a good argument, be
Yeah.
respectful. I move
Yep,
on.
like I tell her, it's the exact same thing. I said, where you lost me, have your rallies, have them wherever you want at your corners. Absolutely, right? Everybody's got a right to protest. And I fully agree with
Yeah.
it, right? And the
Yeah.
mandates, I'm fucking done with it too. Like I want to get on with life. We've done all the things to do. Let's go. Let's carry on, right? I
That's
said,
right.
where you lost me though, Wendy? And I'll call her by her name because this pissed me off. I said, you lost me at the hospital. You lost me protesting in front of the hospital, and that
Yeah. I don't
ended my.
I don't
period.
understand what that would gain anybody.
No,
But
no.
I just find the irony is lost on everybody that's there doing that they have so much freedom that they're allowed to do these protests.
Yes.
Try doing that in China. Try doing that
Yeah, right.
in these other very regulated, restricted countries, and you'll learn about freedoms real quick.
Yeah.
And
Real
You go jail, motherfucker.
I just think they're saying they don't have freedoms, and they're there doing this for how many hours? And it's like you have more freedoms than most people in any other parts of the world.
Yeah.
But it's
Did
frustrating.
you drive
the way
there
it's
free? Did you
frustrating.
drive to Ottawa free?
Exactly.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
And
It's
no.
it's it is what it is, right? And that's a saying
Yeah.
that goes around too easily. But I don't need to support it. But I can
Nope.
support people wanting to express themselves, and I just
Absolutely.
think you need to do it respectfully.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, Brad, I have to ask you, do you feel like a piece of meat almost tonight? The ladies in the comments here are going crazy. I almost don't want to let you
No, I
go.
haven't.
He's
because,
been paying attention
the
to our
big
conversation.
female contingency in the comments tonight. They're coming at you hot and heavy.
No.
They want calendars. They want videos.
Oh no.
Mostly
No,
Tamara
I
and
don't,
Kel,
not
but
at all.
you know.
Where are we at with that? Is there a Brad Hopper Firefighter calendar coming out anytime soon?
No time.
You
So
and the
you watch
dog?
a lot of movies. Yeah. Oh, hey, that would be a bit. An SPCA
Wow.
one maybe, or Humane Society.
Hey, there you go.
I appreciate that. It's this is the uniform. This is it. This is all
Yeah,
you see.
Tara
It's a
said
blue
she's keeping
piece
it
of
clean,
polyester.
but inside she's like ubba. Just like the rest of these hooligans on here. You can't
Kel,
even keep
Tamara
it
and I
together.
want to visit. They
Is
said that
this
they would
when I say
deliver
that
your
I got a
beer off.
call? Oh, perfect. Is this when I say I got a call right now, or no?
Yep.
when I go.
Makes the stage left all you like.
Yeah.
Well, listen, we've kept
no,
you
I
long
appreciate
enough.
that.
I don't want to be here all night either, dude. It's been fantastic having you on the show. I hope you're not offended by. I apologize for these females.
Not at all. I expected that because I know you draw them in, Bondzee, so I had to
Oh
be
yeah.
respectful something here.
Oh,
Especially
this.
since he shaved his head finally. Got away from that
Yes,
stupid mullet.
Oh,
I
like
voted
mine.
on that. I voted on that Dean show when you were asking about it.
Did you? Attaboy.
Yeah,
Good for
when you
you.
were going on, but I wish you the best on your travels because I know you said this is it, right? So you're gone.
No, I'll be doing a show Wednesday. I'm just not sure if I'm doing it from my mom's house, where I'm currently residing until I leave Friday. I'll be on the road doing some visiting. Got to see some friends, so I think I'll be up in the London area if on Wednesday doing a show, and then Friday we'll be live from Nicaragua. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah,
You want to laugh before you go, Brad? Here you go. Yes.
All right.
That
is the
he's
one.
got that in his favorites, which kind of creeps me out, like he's got it so quick. And
Dean does or Glassy does?
Oh, Glassy.
Okay.
Yeah.
No. Well, how can you? Come on.
I mean,
it
is
right.
pretty sexy. I mean, come on.
We were right
in its own right.
Yeah,
we were right though. Come on. No more hats. You haven't worn a hat in forever.
I know I haven't. I really don't anymore. And my sponsor yelled at me because he gave me a Positive Mike's Brewing hat, and he's like, "You wear a goddamn hat on the show," and I'm like, I don't wear a hat anymore. I only wore a hat because I had a skullet.
No,
but
I noticed that. But
The only time I
It's,
wear a hat
some-
is when I'm outside here in freeze Terrio because
yeah,
I got no hair to
yeah.
keep it warm anymore,
Hey,
so I got to wear my.
I live in a toque as well. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
living in a toque right now.
We got to
Say
keep
bye to
them
Army
bald
Chris
heads.
before he goes. I noticed
Yes.
he's leaving there. And
Good night, Chris.
Wade, all the best, my friend. You're in the thoughts here. And then, of course, Tara, Tamara, Cal, Melissa.
All your lady
There's so many
fans.
of them out there. And Mike,
I know.
Positive Mike, for sending me some product, right, through
You
Bondzee.
bet. You
And
bet.
I appreciate it all. I'm glad we didn't get interrupted here. So
I am too.
thanks for the invite. Yeah,
Thanks a lot
I
for
will,
jumping. Appreciate it.
appreciate it. You guys have a good evening.
Yeah, it was a
Say
great
bye,
chat. Your
Good night,
beers
Brad.
will be there soon, and I'll definitely try and get up to see you when I'm back in May, June-ish for sure.
We'll go out in Kingston. We'll have a real podcast from a patio. And I know that you may not be drinking, but we can have a coffee or do something.
Hey,
Congrats, bud.
we'll do something, and I look forward to seeing you, pal. Thanks so much for joining us, Brad Hopper, everybody.
Appreciate it. Yeah,
Thanks,
keep
man.
doing what you're doing.
Offload Delay
Stay safe, bud.
podcast, and people love it, and we love you, and all the best. Be safe out there, please. Okay, bro.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah,
All
you
right.
too. Safe travels. All right.
Right on. Wow, man, that guy's a breath of fresh air. He really is.
Hello,
Such a
Brett.
good dude. Make sure you go and check. If you haven't already, go subscribe. You can find it on YouTube. All the the streaming services. Go to Dean Blundell, sign up there, and make sure you favorite Offload Delay podcast with Brad Hopper. Guys, something else. Special dude. And
Yeah,
the
his-
girls, I love them, don't they? Holy. The only thing I don't have is a little patch thing on my shoulder, a little badge thing saying I'm a firefighter. It's the only thing I'm missing. Otherwise, we look the same.
I'd put my
You know?
money that you don't cut it. I would. You be dragging that fire hose into the building, and I think you're out of breath. Before
I
you
always
hit the
wanted
brakes.
to be a firefighter when I was younger and stuff, like really young. And I even tried out of high school. I think I wrote the test twice and applied, but I don't know if it's the same now. But back when I was applying, you'd be lucky if there'd be 5 jobs available and there'd be like 2,000 or 3,000 applicants. I remember doing tests, to write the test and see who scored the highest in massive gymnasiums just so they could house everybody. It was insane, dude.
Mhm.
So yeah. Anyways,
Doe's here. We should say hi to Doe. Hi, Doe.
hi,
Hope
Doe.
you're
Thanks
well.
for joining us tonight. I hope
Yes,
you're feeling
thank you.
better or feeling good. I know.
God loves a man in uniform. Even Doe's on the train.
Yeah. God, look at that, eh? Isn't he tall? No, as a matter of fact, I've never met Brad, but I have actually heard that I'm taller than Brad not by much, but I'm 5'8" tops, like topped out, and I heard
5'4".
Brad is a tiny bit shorter than Bonds.
No, see?
He's back.
He's in the
I
back.
got his
No.
attention. Here we go.
10.
He's
You're
5'10".
5'10".
You're
Yeah.
5'4", Bondzee.
Diener
Come
and them
on.
lied to me because they said you were shorter than me. So maybe
That's
they're just
because I
pulling
was
my
on my
train.
knees puking.
Maybe that was
That's
it.
why
Oh
I
yeah,
looked a
you
lot
the
shorter
401
than-
story.
Yeah. Yeah, the 407. We won't talk
Yeah,
about that one.
you're
next
welcome
time.
for leaving that out tonight. You're
Yeah,
the
I
one that
know.
kind of brought it up, but
There's no need to leave it out. It's everywhere. But I had a serious dose of stress relief that night. And one thing I'd
That's good, though.
recommend
You
is
needed
never
it.
go drinking with 2 guys that aren't drinking, and you have the VIP drink tickets. That's
Yeah,
what.
right. And
that's
the
what made
funniest
it.
story, part about the story too, is I heard you actually had drink tickets left in your pocket when you.
Oh, I
woke
posted
up
them the
the
next
morning.
day. Oh, and they were. Oh, yeah. But that's with Diener, right? Diener had a strip of drink tickets on him just as being the VIP guest, and he didn't want them. So
Yeah.
they handed them to me, and Lindley was driving, and I was having a bad time before that, and it was the first time I'd been out like everybody in months and months and months, and
Yeah.
we had fun till the next
I'm
morning.
glad you got to unleash, man. If there's anybody that deserves to go out and have a goddamn night and puke your brains out on the 407 on the way home because you had such a good time, it's you, my friend. So good on you.
Hey, we're all human. I had to get
It
it out
happens
before I
to
got
the
home.
best of
Yeah,
us.
I didn't want
you
to
know?
sleep with it, so appreciate it. We'll get a picture though together. We'll see
Okay,
the
we
height
will
difference.
for sure.
All right.
I'm just going by the intel that I got. I thought I heard you were shorter than me, but that's okay. I'm
No,
generally
no.
shorter than everybody, so
Bondzee
it
is
doesn't bother me.
5'2". He's not. He's exaggerating.
I was just shorter
Well,
than they thought. For some reason, they thought I was well into the 6s, but I'm just an average
Yeah.
size.
5'10's
Yeah.
a good height.
Mhm.
That's not
Yeah,
bad.
it's all right. Yeah, I'm smaller on the fire hall though. There's a lot of big boys.
Are you
and
really?
girls
Yeah.
Around here. Oh yeah, yeah. But I'll keep up to them. Don't worry about that. I'll lift with them.
Attaboy.
I just
I
won't,
know you will.
reach as high as them. So that's it.
Your vert's
right.
way better.
Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here.
Okay,
All
buddy.
right.
Take care.
Cheers, Brad.
I thought I was taller than him. There you go. But I'm not. I'm just a short, fat fuck who's bald. Doesn't matter. But yeah, what else? Oh, we were on the we were getting into the football, my friend. Amazing weekend of football. How lucky were we to get 2 weeks ago 4 games off the charts, amazing, and then this weekend, kind of. I'm pretty sure everybody on the planet, except maybe Cincinnati and their wives and their families, thought Cincinnati was going to get dusted. They like everybody thought it was going to be a blowout. But it kind of was in the first half. Everybody thought, oh, see, Cincinnati doesn't stand a chance. Lo and behold, here we go. And Cincinnati has a miracle second half, comes back and wins the game, in dramatic fashion, dude. It was unbelievable, wasn't it?
I have it here.
From 31 yards.
There it is.
McPherson. Cincinnati is heading to the Super Bowl. He called it again, I'm sure. He walked up and he goes, "Can you believe, Coach? We're going to the Super Bowl." And they
Wade
did it.
did
They
call
beat
this
Mahomes
on
at
the
home.
podcast
Wow,
as
Joe
well.
Burrow.
We have to give
No
him
way.
credit. I believe his reasoning was that a Bengal could take down a chief in the jungle, therefore the Bengals will win.
Right. I think that. Wow.
However way you got to look at it or analyze it worked. I went a different route and I was riding the Cinderella story, if you will, and by golly gee, didn't Burrow do it again? He had an incredible second half. Got lucky, and I hate I'm almost sorry that I said he got lucky. And the team got lucky. They had a couple turnovers, which doesn't happen very often against Mahomes because he's so goddamn good. But it's not lucky. It's part of the game. Shit happens. And listen, they picked him off twice in the second half and were able to come back and win one of the most miraculous wins, especially when it goes to overtime. And doesn't Kansas City win the goddamn coin toss again?
Yep.
I thought, here we go.
There we go.
Right down the field they'll go, and game over.
Yep.
Burrow was like, hold my beer, buds.
I
We're
couldn't
not
believe
done.
he felt his shit in overtime. I was like, what the fuck? When What's His Noodle went to catch it and just on the field, and I'm like, it's over. It's over right now. Over right now. How about, Danielle saying that was a crazy game? This guy's crazy.
They're going to the fucking Super fucking Bowl! Are you fucking kidding me? This is fucking believable! Oh my fucking god! They're going to the Super Bowl!
Sarge
They're going to the fucking
his
Super
language.
Bowl! Holy fucking shit! The fucking Bengals
It's not me.
are
It's
going
you.
to the Super Bowl!
Gregory Scott, I don't understand why you've got to play video of a man who sits there and says the F word over and over. What is wrong with that man? I don't swear, and I don't know why he's got to swear either. I know, Mom. I know. I this is every fucking day of my life. And even when it's not, that's what plays in my head. Gregory Scott, I don't know why people swear. I just don't. Anyways, there's so many crazy things that happened in that game, Glassy? First of all, what was it? Burrow's just like I just don't get it. He's the real deal. He went to LSU, wins them the championship in his second year there.
Yep.
Now he got injured in Cincinnati. I know it's been a couple more than 2, but here we are, lo and behold, 30 years of the franchise. He marches in here a couple years ago, and here they are going to the Super Bowl, dude. He's got some sort of magic in him, doesn't he?
Yeah, I was very surprised. I actually had called Kansas City, but late Saturday afternoon, I did switch over to the Bengals. So I was on chatting with Chris and Steve from the Ballhawks podcast last night. And the Beans. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say.
The Beans.
Go ahead.
You were chirping me pretty heavy when Kansas City was doing pretty good there on Sunday in the first half, and then I noticed your Twitter got awfully fucking quiet in the second half, mister.
It did.
Especially in overtime.
Yeah, well, I was just taking it all in. So
All right. Well, congrats to Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals. By golly. Oh, do you got that one other video I sent you before we play your beans video? The one with where the dad absolutely rifles the kid.
Oh yeah.
So I'll tee this up. There's this dad. He's sitting around with his buddies, and big old dude, and he loves Kansas City. He's a huge Chiefs fan, and his kid, not so much. He's got a Burrow jersey on. He's parading around like he's the boss, and he walks up to his dad. Watch this.
When your dad is a Chiefs fan and you love Joe Burrow.
Throws in the curve.
Chiefs fan and you love Joe Burrow. Love Joe Burrow.
Boom. Get out of my face, kid. You're not my kid right now. That made me laugh when I saw that. Okay,
Kel
before
says, do your beans bring firefighters? Yes, actually, and I have consulted a couple ahead of what I do. So
before we talk about the second game, you've got your video teed up, or you did have it teed up there.
Go ahead and talk about the second game. We can end with it, whatever.
Okay, well, or we'll talk about it after this game. The second game, certainly, I was like, wow, we just got another amazing game, another overtime game with Kansas City. Mahomes proved he's human, dude. He missed a final drive of scoring a touchdown. They only got the field goal to tie it, which they needed. And then he had another opportunity, and boy, golly gee, back-to-back times, Patrick Mahomes blew it.
Yeah.
It was nice to see, actually, him be human for once.
It was.
The second game, 49ers LA. Boy, that game didn't disappoint either. No. I was absolutely blown away by the sea of red in that stadium. Were you?
No, I was not blown.
There was a lot of red jerseys in there, bro.
There was, and there was so much talk the week prior leading up to the game that they were refusing to sell them tickets to the game.
I think that's just media bollocks because
it could be.
It was half and half in that stadium almost, dude. It really was.
Yep.
It was San Fran is no joke, dude. I hadn't realized that they had beat LA Rams the 6 previous times. Now, I already picked the Rams, but as soon as I saw that stat on Sunday before game time, I was like, I even said to my buddy, because he was like, I got a gut feeling that the 49ers are going to win it tonight and beat LA. And I was like, not after seeing that 6-0. I said, the streak's over, bud. It's going to come to an end. It was a great game. San Fran led most of it. And then
I was hoping San Francisco would have won that. I honestly was.
Yeah? For what reason? I
don't know. They've come up short in the last couple times they've been in the Super Bowl in the last, I don't know how many times. 2 out of the last 5 years.
You're saying that shit to a Packers fan. Look at the nightmare we've lived. Holy cripes.
Well, at least you're not a Raiders fan.
Well, yeah, I've always been thankful for that, though.
Yes.
Listen, both teams looked great. It was another fantastic game. A lot of people had the 49ers. This was touted as a lot closer game than people thought it was going to be. I know a lot of people were thinking LA, their defense, and just the way they manhandled, some of the other games. But they have struggled with LA. Or with 49ers. They lost to them in week 18, which it would have been ironic, wouldn't it, that LA could have put out the 49ers. The 49ers wouldn't even made the playoffs had LA beat them in week 18.
That's right.
49ers came back and won that game in dramatic fashion and made it to the playoffs, and they almost beat out LA Rams to go to the Super Bowl yesterday. But that was another amazing game with some crazy plays. How Tart for the 49ers missed that catch in the final seconds or a minute of the game and would have sealed 49ers deal to go. It was in his hands. He had it and it just kind of fell out and it was like, he was devastated. Anyways, that would have sealed their deal to the Super Bowl. It didn't. He blew it.
Joel Mixon, is that you?
Yeah, this is me that I sent you this. I saw this today in the.
Please explain this to me. I say it's a dead ball.
I don't know if we have sound on it or not. Do we?
No, we don't.
So there's no sound. But play the video and then I'll explain what I see here and what happened.
Hey, go ahead. There's no sound. You can talk anyway.
Yeah, I understand, but I want people to kind of see it. So the ball gets handed off. Buddy goes for a nice run here, and he loses his own footing, falls down. Nobody touched him, dude, and he dropped the ball. Couple of the 49ers guys picked KC guys picked that ball up.
Yeah.
And it was a live ball, dude. I'm pretty sure the whistle hadn't gone off from what I had read today, but as soon as it all happened so fast that it got blown dead. Essentially, it was a dead ball, but really when it shouldn't have been. Because watch, he goes down. Not one KC player touched him. That means that's a live ball right there, dude. So, anyways, it ended up not being a part of the thing, but it certainly didn't go unnoticed in the Kansas City world. That's for sure. Anyways, we were talking about the San Fran for LA Rams games. You threw me off, but that's okay. I got all fumbled. I'm like, no, that's not the 49ers and Rams game. Anyways, Burrow's the shit. Huge game for them. And then, buddy, for quarterback for LA, I'm having a brain cramp right now. What's his name?
Stafford?
Thank you, Stafford. Good God. I have these from time to time where I completely forget on what the name I'm talking about. But like he finally he gets out of that shithole of Detroit where I always knew he was a good quarterback. He goes to Mexico, meets the coach of the LA Rams. The next thing you know, he's playing for him, and lo and behold, they're going to the Super Bowl. Pretty wild. They could be the second team in a row, but isn't it? When's the last time, but besides last year, that with Tom Brady and the Buccaneers, that a team that made it to the Super Bowl won where the Super Bowl was being played, like their home field? Do you remember?
Never been. The home teams never played except for the last 2 years in the Super Bowl on their own.
Okay, so last year was the first. And isn't it amazing that it could happen again?
Yep, we're back to back.
Pretty wild. Great games, great weekend. Loved every last second of it. Hard doing your show without your fuck off, Wade. I do have my teleprompter. It's called Notes. It's not a teleprompter. It doesn't continuously keep going, and there's nobody here like making it go for me. Anyways, it was amazing. Not sorry if I lost your money this weekend. If you did kind of follow my going opposite of what I picked, but now it looks like I might be a NFL picking guru, bud.
Who are you taking in the Super Bowl?
I'm not saying yet. I'm gonna wait. I already know who I'm taking. Yep. But I'm gonna wait and announce it next week. I wanna factor in everything. I want to see how the injuries go. I want to see what leading closer up to the game. You know what I really do hate? I hate the fact that it's 2 weeks away. Yeah. Let's just fucking get it done and over with. You know?
You got to do the Pro Bowl next weekend.
Russell Wilson, the Pro Bowl. It should be after.
Russell Wilson's actually been subbed in for Tom Brady.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
How come Tom opted out? What's going on?
I guess the whole rumors of his retirement is from what I gathered.
That was a big joke. What the fuck was that all about?
Such a fucking joke. He's not
like, and I don't blame Tom on that at all. It didn't come from Tom's camp. Don't be all hating on Tom because of that.
Nope.
You know.
Nope. This is how you roll up to your podcast, much like Burrow.
What a champ. Where's the cigar? His stick.
All right, 6:00. Let's go.
Hilarious. Did you hear some asshole? One of the reporters is like, are the diamonds in your necklace real? That guy should have been fired on the spot and kicked out and had his press passes and privileges forever and ever revoked. Like, get out. Are they real? No, there's cubic zirconias, you fuck. What do you think?
Total cheeseball, Mike.
I don't care if it's cheeseball move. He's allowed to have that cheeseball move. Look what he's done. He's allowed. Yeah. He looks like a doofus. Play that one more time. Did he have a turtleneck on or something too? Did I notice? Where is it? Sorry.
No, where did it go?
Anyways, you can't come at him. I bet you he gives 0.0 fucks.
Yeah.
He does have a turtleneck on. I love it. I love everything about this. You'd never catch me dead wearing any of this, but I kind of love the balls that he has to parade out in that. Shit.
He's just missing applying his chapstick. Thank you, Daniel.
Too funny.
100%. Do you want to switch subjects? The Farmers Open yesterday in the PGA Tour.
It was. I love me some golf, and I love shots like this. Sadly, this has never happened to me.
Manly. This was a beautiful chip shot.
It's going to have to elevate this and get it to come down soft.
Oh
my goodness. How soft is that?
Shot.
It's going to have to elevate this and get it to come down soft.
doesn't get much softer than that, I guess.
How soft is that? It's going to have to elevate this and get it to come down soft. Oh my goodness.
That was so good. I had to catch it 3 times.
So good. Listen, big soccer weekend for our Canadian boys, eh? The guys are on fire. I'm loving this.
Top of CONCACAF.
As a fella who has parents from England, grew up loving soccer, grew up loving England. Canada was never, ever in World Cups. The Euro, well, they couldn't be in the Euro Cup because they're not from Europe, believe it or not. Canada's not. But they're never in the World Cup, me as a kid. And now all that's about to change. We're on top of the league. We would have secured our ticket 100% yesterday. The only thing that happened was Jamaica needed to beat Panama last night after we played. Sadly, Panama came out on top in that game. So we got to wait one more week through the window of games. But
we got 4 games coming up still.
Yeah, I think it's in March, Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken.
Wednesday's the next game against Honduras?
No, we just played them last week.
Oh.
I don't remember. Anyways, amazing game on the weekend in Hamilton. They braved the temperatures. It was pretty cold. I was going to originally go to the game with my dad, but then I had to go up north because I had a emergency. I wouldn't say emergency doctor's appointment. I tried to get in to see my family doctor, which isn't the easiest thing around here, and I couldn't get an appointment. Anyways, magically last Friday, I got a call saying, "Hey, can you come Monday morning at 10 o'clock?" So I'm like, "Yep." So that's how I ended up north for the weekend, went to the doctors. Anyways, that's why I didn't go to the soccer game, which I'm kind of glad. I would have froze my ass off too.
Did you get things looked at?
Well, yeah. So, I mean, I guess we could kind of flip to things here for a real quick update. My blood pressure is an issue still. The doctor isn't thrilled about it. The medication that I'm on, I guess it's working, but it's not working the best. So they're giving me something else to go with this medication that I'm on to try and when I had my blood pressure taken at the doctor's office today, it was 173 over 112. And the nurse looked at me and she's like, you okay, bud? Did you do some cocaine on the way here or something? And no, she didn't say that. But it was high. I'm like, I don't know why it's this high because I fucking took my medication all weekend. She's like, do you drink a lot and stuff? I was like, yeah, I used to. Not anymore. Been fucking pretty much dry all of January. And she's like, yeah, that's not good, mister. Anyways, so I got a new prescription. We'll see how that goes. The 3-ball thing's fine. He said it's nothing to worry about. And
there you go. Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. The 3 balls are fine. There it is.
And same with the taint boil. We're gonna wait on that too until I get back to have it dealt with. It's not a boil or anything. It's just a little lump up inside my body. It's not even like in me bum or anything. It's fine. So yeah, everything's tickety boo pretty much. I wouldn't say it's great, but it's not that bad. And yeah, I'm glad I went. We got some other things sorted out. We're on the medication. We'll get the proper things going now. Oh, there's Tucker. Hi, buddy.
Tucker.
And I'm licking his fucking ball sack right on the show. Look at him.
Showing you how it's done there, buddy.
How's that going, Tuck? Good lickings? Sorry. What else? Yeah, so congrats to soccer. We're going to the World Cup for the first time. It's inevitable, and I'm so excited about that.
4 points ahead. I think we have 22 points or something like that ahead of.
Yeah. And after USA was in second place, and now we beat them twice, I believe. So in this bracket, so I pretty much we're secured a ticket. I'm pretty sure. Anyways, Melissa says, "Oh, good. I was worried about the balls."
Actually,
so
Tamara came in.
I have it. It's a brand new doctor that I saw today, and we talked about it. It wasn't. So I guess I didn't lie, but I didn't tell the truth. I guess I'm not out of the clear with it. We just were like, I was like, "Sir, so I have this issue going on where." And it'll be in my chart, but years and years and years ago, like I don't even remember, has to be at least 5, if not 10. I told my doctor that there's like a third ball there. And he's like, gives it the old feely. And he's like, oh, by golly gee, there's definitely something there, mister. So we went and got like one of them, what do you call it? Where they put the freezing cold gel on and they put up your balls and your like fucking penis damn near inverted.
Ultrasound or something?
The ultrasound. There you go. Yeah. We did one of those things and they said it was fine. It's nothing to be concerned about. It wasn't, cancerous or anything. So anyways,
good.
it's been there ever since. And yeah, it's like a bonus ball now. And listen, it's a little sensitive if I'm like pulling it or something and my hand slips and I whack the third ball by accidentally or something. It kind of is more sensitive than the other two fellas, but it doesn't happen very often. So we're okay in that regards. We will one day get it fully looked at again. I know it's probably something that Dean's all freaked out. Oh, Bondzee, you better take care of that third ball. But yeah, we will definitely have it looked at further down the road. It's not a problem right now. It causes me zero grief. It's there's
when
nothing.
You're on your Aloha tube and you bang it.
Yeah,
then it causes you some discomfort.
Brad says there's no way it's a true third nut, is it? No, I don't know. I'm not a fucking doctor. I've never seen the thing. I can't see through my balls. I don't get to see the ultrasoundy thing they did, but it basically is the shape and feel of a nut. Yeah, I got 3. I don't know if it's true. Maybe I was born with it and I never knew it. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know the truth or the 100% right answer to that. I could have been born with it, could have developed it along the way. If it's a growth, they're not worried about it. It's not cancer.
Maybe it's a misplaced Adam's apple. Keep them coming, please.
Wade.
Hey, how about this guy? When you win a lot of money, but it's not your winnings. Want to check this video out?
Sure, I'm. So hold on before you play it once more. So the caption of that was, I guess this guy won the jackpot at a machine and one of his buddies or something was just there or playing beside him and it moved over and then buddy fucking hit the jackpot on it. And that's what he got for winning. Play this one more time. It's awesome.
Security guard's like, what the fuck?
That's right. He didn't even really he was kind of confused as to what was going on, but I got to give the guy that come flying in there full kudos for the 2-legged takedown flying body kick. That was pretty impressive. I do have to say.
I think Brad's still watching. So this was out of Russia today.
Oh, dude, this is something special, isn't it?
These men on the 8th floor risked their lives to save this girl trapped on the 9th floor by a fire. No casualties were reported. 12 people ended up in hospital, including both of these men, which had his hand burned. Another one was wounded by shards of glass. Here is the very cool video.
It's impressive.
So she's going to climb out of the top window.
Yeah, this is scary, man. When I watched this, it was almost a trigger. I was kind of like, oh, fuck, please don't let somebody fall.
Yeah, I want to get Brad's reaction when he's still on here.
I don't understand how you pull this off. Like, these guys are hanging out the window. There's only so much leverage you can give yourself when you're that far out the window. But just watch. I'll shut my mouth. This is impressive. Holy, one slip. And 1, 2, or all 3 of them could have went, Mm-hmm. Fuck me, that video is, wow. It's unbelievable. Man, oh man. Those guys are goddamn heroes as far as I'm concerned. They're lucky they only got, I think, some burnt hands and some shards of glass. Mm-hmm. Because, listen, dude, one foul slip, you saw the video, if it could have triggered, because they were holding on. If the one guy, his foot slips or his hand slips, down you go. And then she might have fallen, and the other kid might have, she might have grabbed by just, nature. You would just grab on. So it could have been really disastrous. And I was tripping watching that video. I really was. Boy, what about, did you see the story about the teen who turned down $5,000 from Elon Musk over the weekend?
No. Oh, for tracking his airplane or something.
Yeah. So this kid's got a Twitter account, and it's called Elon Musk's private jet. You can follow it. So he set this up, and Elon Musk just started getting pissed off. He's like, he called it it's almost like a security threat and stuff. So he offered this kid over the weekend. The kid's name's Jack Sweeney. He's 19, and he runs a Twitter account that tracks Elon Musk's private jet. Everywhere it goes, this kid's always on there. Elon Musk's off to this place today. You can follow him here. and the kid's doing really well at it. So Elon Musk offered him $5,000, and the kid's like, no thanks.
Hold up,
pass. He goes, I get too much satisfaction out of following you and letting everybody know where you're going. So he said, listen, why don't I'll take it down for $50,000. So Elon Musk has yet to confirm or deny that he's going to give this kid $50,000. But Musk did say in a tweet earlier this month that he found it a huge security breach and an issue. So I'm thinking, well, dude, you got more money than God and anybody on this planet. Why don't you just buy some help? Sounds like this kid could be worth every last penny of the $50,000 if he's smart enough to set up this Twitter account and be able to follow you working with bots.
Yep.
Maybe the kid's worth hiring. I don't know. Call me crazy. Fuck $5,000. He pisses $5,000.
Oh,
cough
easily.
up the 50. Cough up. I'd give that kid $500,000 to knock it off or come and work for me and say, hey, how the hell did you do that? Help me with this and help me with that. Yeah, exactly. Kel was like, hired a kid. I would hire him 2 seconds.
100%.
Simple fix, if you ask me. Anyways, Elon Musk is on Twitter bitching and moaning about this kid now and offers him a measly $5,000. It's kind of a fucking...
I wouldn't.
I'm glad the kid didn't take it, to be honest with you. I find it kind of funny. And kid made no secret of it, too. He's like, I get too much satisfaction out of this to making fun of you and the fact that it bugs you. So hire him, Elon. It's the only fix on that, for sure.
Uh-huh.
What else we got?
We found this funny today.
Oh, dude, I really did. I found this over the weekend, and
How did baby do?
Yeah, like, okay, every kid there probably has done something wrong and might have deserved the timeout. They might have had a huge, like, WWF brouhaha in the middle of mom's living room, but the baby, what the hell does that baby have to do to get tossed in with the rest of the hooligans? Or maybe it's the old adage, all for one, one for all. Like, if they all get in shit, the little one's got to go down too. You know who posted that and where it's from, and I'll give him credit. Snoop Dogg posted that on his Instagram. So I found that pretty funny.
There you go.
2 more quick things before we get out of here. Definitely this one. I found this story. It's funny, not funny. I mean, I really feel bad for her. Listen, this girl is sexy beyond belief. She's a 22 out of 10. Okay. She's an Italian soccer referee in sort of the big leagues over there, and she's kind of well known. Her name's Deanna DeMio. Anyways, Deanna DeMio is now beyond embarrassed. She won't even leave her home. She's on lockdown. She said, "I'm never coming out of my house again." She really is some beautiful though.
And what does she do?
Shit.
What happened?
She's a soccer referee. Okay. And so when I first read the headlines, female soccer referee gets in trouble, or it says she's never leaving her house again. And I'm like, oh, it got my attention. They showed a picture. I'm like, wowzers. Anyways, I thought she'd done screwed up in soccer or maybe cost some Italian team a big match. Nope. This soccer referee, she's in school to be a lawyer as well. In her private time, I guess she had some nice photos, sans clothing, and some videos, maybe in some sexual positions. A little of this, maybe a little of this.
Okay.
It got leaked. Some asshole hacked into her computer and sent it out all over Europe, and she's horrified. Her parents have seen it, and I guess she got seen in some suggestive positions and photos, and now she's locked. She said, I've been locked up in my home ever since this broke. I've been crying ever since and throwing up for 2 days straight. Pretty shitty, though, in the grand scheme of things. Though, I would look at it like this. If I look like that, be no fucking crying and hiding. Be fucking out there going, who's paying me? Who's paying me next? Let's cop pony up the dough. Let's go. Dude, she's beyond gorgeous, don't you think? Like, you kind of got to feel bad for her, though, because you don't want some of that stuff out there. It's kind of the private things you do in your private time. You know what I mean? It's kind of shitty that some asshole in his mommy's basement who is good at computers. Maybe it was that fellow we were just talking about, 19-year-old guy that was bugging Elon Musk there. Maybe it was him.
Aren't you in your mom's basement?
Fuck you. But yes, I am, but I'm not computer savvy. I am a computer numpty. So definitely wasn't me. And if I found them, I'd keep them for myself. I wouldn't hack them and send them out there. Anyways, poor girl. It is a shitty situation because listen, we all do things in our private life that it's meant to be that private, right? And it is horrifying, even though she is a beautiful specimen human being. She has nothing to be ashamed of as far as I'm concerned. But hey, it is pretty awful. But look at Pam Anderson and Tommy Lee. If you look back way in the day, remember how horrified they were when that sex tape came out? Now there's a documentary about it, and they're making millions and millions and millions of dollars. So things might not be all bad for poor Miss DeMio. You know what I mean? We'll see. She'll get over it, I'm sure.
Wade had used to be Dean DeMio. That's it.
Excuse me. One more quick thing here. This lady out of, I believe she's in Australia. Do you have this video?
Yep.
She's right upset about getting the vaccine because her headlights, as she refers to them as, won't go away. They won't turn off, as she puts it. She speaks pretty candidly. I'll let her speak for herself.
So everyone's been pointing out to me that in all my videos you can see my headlights. My headlights are on. Your headlights are on. I can see thingies. Yes, I know. I can't help it. And I'm trying to work out why that's happening, especially on a 40-degree day. And I've worked out that I had the double vaccination and I had Pfizer. Now, ever since then, my headlights have been on. 40-degree days, headlights on. Walking around the supermarket, headlights on. Laying in front of a heater, headlights on. Has anyone else had this problem because of the double vaccination, or am I the only person that's just stuck with their high beams on all the fucking time?
Kinky. I don't know anybody that's got double vaccinated and nipples are hurt all the time.
She's the only one, but I'm really down with the accent and the whole thing. And then the fellas, they did not miss a beat in the old comment section. We got Wayne Krolig. Which supermarket is that you're at? He says. That Patio Doors jumps in and says, it's good to practice to leave them on so other drivers notice you. Pretty funny. Yep. Peter Gaston, visual explanation, please. You fucking pervert, Peter. And then Wild Jack 069 says, so if you flash them, does that mean there are the cops ahead? Everybody's got a good sense of humor in the grand scheme of things, don't they? Fucking perverts.
Giggity. When you sent me that, I was like, what the fuck are you talking
about? She's like, I'm even lying in front of the bloody heater and I still can't get rid of me headlights.
There you go.
We got one more video. Roll.
Let's end with this one.
Funny. Yeah.
This is cool. This is a cat doing the old Bammerjera.
At first glance, it appears this cat has given up on life and taking the plunge. But Boyak scores himself perfect 10. And this guy's looking up at God going, God, have you finally answered my prayers and given me a kitten? Apparently not. It's just some gangster-ass kitten trying to do some Bam Margera shit and ultimately succeeds by scaring the living shit out of these guys, leaving these guys hungry now that there's cat soy piss all over the place. Great job, cat.
One more time? Okay.
At first glance, it appears this cat has given up on life and taking the plunge, but Boyak scores himself a perfect 10. And this guy's looking up at God going, God, have you finally answered my prayers and given me a kitten? Apparently not. It's just some gangster-ass kitten trying to do some Bam Margera shit and ultimately succeeds by scaring the living shit out of these guys and leaving these guys hungry now that there's cat soy piss all over the place. Great job, cat.
He took the cigarette clear out of that guy's mouth from 30 feet above, knocked the cigarette. Couldn't have picked a better place to land, right in the guy's chest. Saved the cat's ass. The food went everywhere. That was just awesome, man. I could watch that 100 more times.
And Kel doesn't have the headlight issue because of her double vax.
Oh, well, did you have 3 Pfizer, though? Did you have 3 Pfizer? Because she did. Headlight, Australian girl, and now she's got headlights.
I got double Moderna. My shoulders don't hurt anymore.
Wade's got the headlights, though, too. I know he does. He just doesn't want to admit it. His headlights are always on his sweet little man titties.
Oh, boy.
In the cat's defense, it was a non-smoking area. Good one, Wade. That was a pretty wild video to end the show. Folks, that's it. That's all.
Got ripped off, I guess. Oh, man. God love you guys. Thanks a lot for watching. Fuck.
Yeah, it was a great show. So much fun tonight.
Kel's missing out.
Yeah. Huge shout out to Brad Hopper. Folks, make sure you go check out the Offload Delay podcast. You can find it on the Dean Blundell Network. He really does a fantastic job. You guys will love it. It's down to earth as it gets. He does have to mind his P's and Q's because of the brass, but you will not be disappointed. He really gets after it. Anyways, that's a Monday. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. I really did. It was a lot of fun.
Sponsors and get out of here. Good night, guys. My video's coming up next.
Before we get out of here, I'd be remiss if we didn't promote Wednesday's show. We got a big show coming up for you. Jason Pierce, drummer of Our Lady Peace. They just dropped a brand new album last Friday. I think it's absolutely fantastic. Spiritual Machines 2. We'll talk all about it. Some mixed emotions from the fans out there. Some hate it. Most love it. So we'll have a great chat with Jason Pierce coming up on Wednesday. And also we got Jedi Jimmy from 95.7 Cruise FM and the host of the Jedi Jimmy podcast, which is all about some fucking guy called Boba Fett and stuff. I've never seen a Star Wars movie in my life. So pardon my ignorance on that shit, but Jedi Jimmy does a great podcast. I love the guy to death. And he's a funny little midget, small fella, if you will. And he's coming up Wednesday. So great show Wednesday. And then Friday we'll be live from Nicaragua. Sam Wandel, Sur, baby, in Paradise. And you guys will love it. Thanks, everybody, for watching. You guys were great in the comments tonight. Really enjoyed the interaction. Go ahead.
One more shout out to Doe's Cancer Battle. GoFundMe, search the Paula Ways on there, and you can donate. They need all the help that they can get because, fortunately, the medical system doesn't cover a lot of shit that you have to go through when you go through these type of treatments. So Paula Ways on GoFundMe,
which is mind-numbing.
Yes, I know. So go find them, throw in $10, and you're off to the races. And every little bit helps. So it
definitely does. Thanks everybody for the great comments and the support. Make sure you go support that great cause. You guys really are the best. I hope you have the most fantastic week. We'll see you Wednesday. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention my sponsors, of course, Positive Mike's Brewing. Before we get out of here, make sure you go support him. He's awesome. Has some fantastic beers. If you're lucky enough to be in that area and get some. Trust me, you'll love it. And then you get the swag. Everybody needs a Bondzee scheme t-shirt. It is the shit. All the cool kids are wearing it. So should you, because you're cool too. I know you are. Even though you think you might not be, you are. Trust me. You can get a Swick. You can get a Swick hoodie too. You can get a sick hoodie that says peace, love, and beers. Cheers. It's all the same. Positive Mike's Brewing. Love them. You will too. Shakespeare's Fine Dining, Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. That is the place to be, folks. If you want some fine dining, you want the best service you'll ever have at a restaurant, book your table. They're open again as of Wednesday, February 2nd. Take your lady there. Take your fella there. Take whoever there. Take your mom and dad, for Christ's sakes. Stop being so cheap. Prices aren't cheap there either, but open up the wallet. Blow off the moths and get out there and support. All right? You will never have better surf and turf. You'll never have better service. I'm telling you, it is the shit. Their wine list is to die for. The food's to die for. The service is. Buy some gift cards. Give them away. Give them to your loved ones. Just support local business. Shakespeare's and all the other ones too. All right? That's it. That's all. It's Bondzee Live. Trippin with Bondzee. Hope you had a wonderful day. Hope you enjoyed the show. Follow me on social media. I'm out of here soon. I can't wait to get out of this cold. Fuck snowmobiling. It's not my jam. I'm not mad at anybody that loves it or does it. It's just not for Bondzee. I'm a pussy. I don't like the cold. I love going fast. I love that aspect of it. Man, oh man, do those fucking things ever go fast. But it's cold. It's just not my jam. That's all. It's not my jam. I want to go golfing. I'm going golfing soon. Peace and love. That's it. That's all. Bye.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's a wrap. Super Bowl 56 coming down to two cans. The LA Rams, Matt Stafford against Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals in LA in 2 weeks' time. We're going to take two cans of beans. We're going to put them into a microwave. And the first can to blow loses. You know how it works. It's our 7th year. Super Bowl 2022. Coming soon.